You have stopped by the right place. Living Life Victoriously is your station for inspiration, encouragement, and refueling. Here we will discover together what it means to live a victorious life with your host, Victoria Henderson. I want you to know that you are not alone. So sit back, relax, just for a little while, and let's talk about it.
Well, good evening, everyone. I am trying to like and share. Good evening, and welcome to Living Life Victoriously. Good evening. Hang on a second. I'm trying to make sure everybody got it that said, let me know when you come on. But look, that's all I could do was just let a few folks know, and then I'm done. I'm done with all that. All right. Good evening once again. I'm going to hit this button right here so I can see comments. If you're on Facebook, welcome one, welcome all to Living Life Victoriously. Yes, I am your host, Victoria Henderson, and I am so glad that you took time to stop by and talk with me for a while. Hey, Trey Lynn. Hey, Nakayetta. Good evening. Thank you guys for being here. Please like and share. Again, I am so glad you stopped by here on ALH Broadcasting. We are an affiliate of the Streaming Inspirational Broadcast Network, and we're just glad to be here. I am going to remind you, though, that this show will replay on Saturdays at 6 p.m. the week after the show airs, Saturdays at 6 p.m. So if you want to catch it again, if you want to tell somebody about it, thank you so much. Hey, Elder Hines, how are you? Want to catch it again? Come on, stop by again on Saturdays at 6 p.m. I am here on the second and fourth Mondays of each month, and you are now part of the Victory Tribe. That's what I think I'm going to call it, my people, Victory Tribe. Victorious ones. Hello, victorious ones. I like that. Good evening. Good evening. If you're on Facebook, please share. Please tell somebody else that we are here tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much to everyone who has given me encouragement, who has watched the show and given me great feedback. I appreciate that so much. My heart is full. My heart is really full. And I am just overjoyed that you are here to share this victorious journey with me. Now, tonight, I like to talk about the courage not to quit. That's what I'm going to talk about. And today has been an emotional one here in North Carolina. I have been getting calls all day and text and messages. Are you okay? My people in New York. Hey, cousin Serena, did I say hi? I'm sorry. I don't want to overlook anybody. And Zerlina, thank you for joining as well. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all so much. But people have been asking me, am I okay? If you didn't know, today here in North Carolina at the University of Chapel Hill, in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, there was an active shooter on campus. And what I know of right now, one faculty member was shot and killed, but they did apprehend who I believe the suspect. I haven't watched the news since I've been home, but it has been on the news all day long about this active shooter. And, our hearts and our prayers go out to all the victims, the family of the deceased person, and everybody else who was traumatized by today's events, because they did a quick lockdown once they realized the shooter was there. People had to stay in place for 3 and 4 hours, not knowing what was going on. So it was a pretty rough time. So again, our hearts and prayers go out to everybody. And then for myself tonight, I think this topic, the courage not to quit. I didn't know what I was going to talk about tonight until last night when my cousin Serena was sharing some things with me, and it just dropped in my heart. Let's talk about the courage it takes not to quit. And it's particularly meaningful to me tonight. So you guys forgive me if I get a little emotional. Over the weekend, had some news that somebody who was an integral part of my life growing up passed away on Saturday, and then got the news today that someone in my age group, who I grew up with back in New York as well, both of them were from New York, passed away too. So it's hidden. It is hidden, and so I, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the life lesson. I usually want to do my life lessons at the end, but I got to give you the life lesson now because it truly happened today. I was so frustrated. I knew I came into work a little emotional anyway. And someone kept asking me the same thing, but in a different way, and kept coming at y'all, real talk. Today, I wanted to get my pocketbook and leave all those papers right there. And I'm out. I'm out. Me and my pocketbook, we going back to the house. But it takes courage not to quit. And that's what I want to talk about. If you are on the line tonight, I want to ask you a question. And if you're watching the replay, or if you're somewhere where you can shoot an email, please shoot me an email at livinglifevictoriously1@gmail.com. I want to ask you, and because I told you on this journey, we are not alone. We're not alone, and I'm not by myself. I want to know what you consider courage, and what do you do when you want to quit? What gives you the courage not to quit? And if you want me to share it on the air, I will. But if it's just for me, that's fine too. But I want to hear what you have to say. And if you're on Facebook Live now, please go ahead and type it into the comments if it's something you want to share with everybody. What do you do when you feel like quitting? I was taken to think about it just a little bit. What does courage mean? What is really courage? And so I looked it up, and dictionary.com has a let's see, dictionary.com had a meaning, but all of these I found. Thank you, Serena, praying for everybody. It's rough. I appreciate your prayers. But it says one definition. It says courage is a noun, right? Noun, and courage is the choice and willingness to confront agony, pain, danger, uncertainty, or intimidation. Let me read that again. It's the choice and willingness to confront agony, pain, danger, uncertainty, or intimidation. And it also says it's the ability to do something that frightens one. And it further says strength in the face of pain or grief. That's one definition. And another said, I asked it, what is the true meaning of courage? It says it's the quality of mind or spirit that enables a person to face difficulty, pain, danger, etc., without fear and with bravery. And I found online a little article. It said about what gives people courage. And it's found at verywellmind.com. And the name of the article is 7 Ways to Feel More Courageous. Hang on, I'll come back to that in a minute, but I also would love to read some of the comments. Nikayeta says, what courage is to do something out of your comfort zone. I like that a lot. That's very true. A lot of times we want to do something that we usually don't do. For instance, life lesson. I went to a football game on Saturday that was definitely outside of my comfort zone. And I had courage to sit in the sun a little bit too long, but I won't do that again. But I like that, Nightcat, to do something about out of your comfort zone. And Serena says, when I want to give up, I begin to pray and pray all day, reading scriptures in that area of giving up. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Someone says, courage from SIBN says, courage is not the absence of fear, but the understanding that something else is more important. I like that. We read that again for everybody else. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the understanding that something else is more important. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yep. Courage is the absence, not the absence of fear. We can be afraid, but we know that something bigger is about to happen, or what we're in, the reasons why we're in it, something bigger is going to come from it. So we push forward anyway. And like Serena says, begin to pray all day, reading scripture. Serena, can you give me one scripture that you read, that you like to read? I have one. My biggest one is in Joshua 1, when Moses was gone and Joshua had to take over the reins. And it was said to Joshua, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. That is my go-to. Psalms 27, Serena says. And Trelyn says, courage is obeying God. And that certainly takes courage sometimes too, Trelyn, because sometimes God says go right and we go left. We don't listen, right? We don't listen. Let's ask old Jonah about that. God told Jonah to go to Nineveh. And what did he do? He said he ain't going there. He thought those people were not worth saving. So he went. And where he found himself? In a mess of trouble. And when he obeyed God and did what God said, it worked out much better for him. I love that. Courage is obeying God. You have to have courage not to quit. And that's what I'm talking about tonight. The article that I was talking about for on wellnesscots.com, verywellmind.com, if anybody wants the article, the 7 ways to feel more courageous. A part of that says, in fact, courage is taking action in spite of the fear you feel. Courage is the willingness to respond fearlessly despite the anxiety and worry that might be tugging at you. And see how all of that comes together? All of that comes together. What all of you said, what Nikayeta said about doing something out of your comfort zone, your willingness to do whatever it is despite you feeling anxious. And Serena says how she wants to pray. And courage is not the absence of fear, and courage is obeying. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. And it further says, in fact, one of the best ways to be courageous is to understand what you're afraid of, and then refuse to allow that fear to paralyze you. Because if you let it, fear has the power to stop you from moving forward, taking those risks, and making the most of opportunities. Man, we are on target tonight. I'm telling y'all, I just knew this was the right topic for tonight, because I've been feeling myself that it's just hard. These last couple of days have really been hard. And I feel like giving up, but I know that I can't. And I wrote some things. I wrote a little mini sermonette for a Women's Day program. Then I wrote in my book, when I need a word, God speak. I wrote a blog called Courage Not to Quit. And I'm going to read just a little bit of this. Let me see where it starts. Let's see. Y'all, I got papers everywhere. Please forgive me. I got to figure out where this starts. My blog starts. I think my blog is this one, Courage Not to Quit. And again, be strong and of good courage. I usually on my blogs, I write the scripture that I'm coming from, and then I write, okay, Nikayeta says, to me, if I feel like quitting, I think about what I would do if I don't give up. I like that, hun. That's really good. All your answers are so good tonight. Thank you so much. And again, if anybody wants to weigh in, send me an email, livinglifevictoriously1@gmail.com. I would love, love, love to hear what you have to say. But this is a little bit of the blog I wrote called Courage Not to Quit. And I wrote this in 2015. And when I picked it up today, it is so timely. Eh, Listen, listen. I said, hello, my friends. I hadn't written in a while. I told everybody I had not forgotten about you. But I have sat down to write so many times. And that particular year, I felt like I couldn't write. I wish now that I had pushed through and had wrote a little bit more, because writing helps me get through it. But I just couldn't. Every time I sat down to write, I started crying. And I'm going to tell you, I wanted to write, but the words could not form without tears. And each time I stopped, and I had just given up my will to write. This year, 2015, was a very sad one for me. I lost a very close friend in January, and that just blindsided my heart in ways I was still trying to cope with. Added to that, my then mother in law passed away. My own mom was in and out of the hospital a few times, and a cousin passed, then an uncle, then another friend of mine died at 48. And then a month prior to writing this, another brother, my best friend's brother, passed away. So in the space of that many times, that many people died, and the blows were just coming, and I couldn't write. And then the day that I wrote this, I said, I'm in tears again, but I am determined to finish what God told me to do. He has impressed upon my heart that, as always, I must share my story to help someone else. I have to tell you how He graced me with courage not to quit. The sadness that has threatened to overwhelm me to the point that I didn't care much about anything anymore. I got up, I went to work, I took care of my household, but I would cry myself to sleep at night. And I cried when I woke up in the morning. I could not understand why my first friend, that he was killed with a gunshot wound to the head. Somebody just walked up to him and shot him in the head. I could not understand why God would allow that to happen. I didn't question in anger what, why did you do it, Lord? But my question was, why did it have to happen that way? Why was he taken at a young age, and just senseless, just senseless? And then I had to realize that there just are some things in life that will never be explained. I can question all day long, but there's no sense to things that are senseless, and that there are answers that are going to be impossible to get. I asked God to help me bear it, to make the day come when I didn't feel like there was a weight on my chest. There was so much loss that year, just one thing after the other. And then I felt that way this weekend that passed. It's like 3 or 4 deaths, just all this within the span of 3 days. Yet, somehow, some way, I am able to face each day knowing that God is surely with me. The words spoken to Joshua so long ago have become my mantra. As I was with Moses, I am with you. So I put my name right in there. As God was with Moses, He is with me, Victoria. That is exactly how I'm making it each day, telling myself that no matter what, God is with me through it all, through the days when I'm so sad, the days when I have to find something to smile about that truly makes me smile and not fake it, through the days when I want to slap everybody around me, days when I don't feel well and I'm in pain, through every situation. My faith sees and knows that God is ever present, and He holds me in the palm of His hands. I have courage not to quit today because I just can't. I can't quit. That something within me gives me strength from day to day to hold on and press forward. And I hope that that is what I give you tonight. That my comforter, His name is Jesus. He is the author and finisher of my faith. He is my solid rock, my way out of no way, my comforter, my redeemer, and my friend. I thank him today for each tear and giving me the strength to carry on for his purpose. Hang on. For his purpose in my life. And I want you to tell you tonight, don't quit either, my friends. We've come too far to turn around now. We have. That's just about the end of it. And I encouraged everybody to listen to the song by Travis Green called He Made a Way. You made a way when our backs were against the wall and it looked like it was over. I cannot tell you guys the exact moment or the minute or the hour that it happened, but I do know there was a day when I realized that the weight that I had been feeling on my chest wasn't as heavy. In fact, it was gone. And I remember my children were doing something in the car and I laughed out loud. And that was the first time I feel like I had laughed out loud in a moment. And then tears came again. Because if you know anything about me, I'm emotional and I cry at a drop of a hat. But the tears then came out of praise because I was so grateful to God that that burden had lifted. Yes, I'm still grieving my friend. I still miss my friend to this day. I did. It's sometimes I pick up the phone and call him and be like, "Oh, I can't talk to him," but it's okay because God lifted the weight. And again, like I said in my thing, there are some things that we'll never understand. And that's what I want to tell you tonight. Have courage not to quit. Because even though we may not understand it, God does. And he's going to give you the strength to bear it because he's good like that. And all I can do is give you a testimony of what he's done for me and give you that push to keep going. So have courage not to quit. And I also wrote, um, 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 I have to stand firm on this one thing. The same God who orchestrated those words about do not be afraid and do not be discouraged. And those words were written so long ago, but he knew that I would need to read them and apply them to my situation. They are not just promises made to those guys over there or those folks back then. They are made to me because I'm a believer and I'm a daughter of God. I have to muster up the strength and courage to withstand this storm and any other that I face. I understand that these trials are not only about me and my ability to simply hold on. I have to believe that if Jesus is the deliverer of my sins and redeemer of the world, why can I not know without a doubt that he has my back in every situation? Trey Lynn says, if I feel like quitting, I think about all the people who have used my strength in the past to make it through and how my quitting would hurt them and they could possibly lose hope. Trey Lynn, I feel exactly the same way. People look at me and, they see the outward trappings. I'm always going to have my hair done. I'm always going to have my jewelry, paparazzi. I sell paparazzi, shameless plug. But and most of the time I try to have my nails done because my mantra is I do not have to look as bad as I feel. Because if I looked as bad as I feel, you wouldn't want to be around me. My breath would be stinking. My breath be stinking. My hair would be all over the place. And I'd be crying and carrying on. But that's not, I don't want you to look at me. I remember when I first had to get my walker, Trey Lynn. I about cried getting my walker. And it still is a little hard for me sometimes on the days when I have to use my cane and my walker because I see the looks. People tend to look at you a little funny when they perceive there's a disability, right? And so I don't like those looks and I want to just go where I gotta go. I don't want anybody to ask me, you all right today? No, I'm not all right. You see this walker? But I can't say that. But I know how it feels. to not quite feel yourself. And there's some days the pain is just better than others. And some days I need that walker. Some days I need to use my cane, but I can't quit because I was on one of my lives one day and someone said something on the live is shut it down. Why? I was busy showing my jewelry and they said, Victoria, thank you so much for doing what you do because you show me every day how what it means to press on, and you give me such encouragement and you inspire me. Okay, even now that chokes me up because this person, this person who said that is a kidney transplant person. They had a kidney transplant. They had a cousin of theirs donate the kidney and they underwent a kidney transplant because her kidneys were failing. And I watched her come to work in pain. I watched her come to work swollen. And she's telling me about all the medicines and all of that. But she said she looked at me because she knows what I go through. And if I could do it, she said she could too. Blown away. So I feel what you said, Traylon, right here in my heart. Because it's amazing. It's amazing. And I don't do anything I do thinking somebody's looking at me. I'm like, what? You talking about me? What? But that thing, I couldn't even show the jewelry anymore. The tears began to roll, and I thanked her for saying that. And we just started praising God on that live. And that's what it's about for me. That gives me joy. That gives me ultimate joy. And it's one of my mottos. If I can help somebody, then my living is not in vain. That's an old song. And Elder Hines says, but you persevere in spite of it all, but God. That's it, but God. He is the joy and the strength of my life. I'm telling you. Okay, hold on. I want to keep reading just a little bit more, and then I'm gonna wrap it up for today. I wanted to read this to you. Have courage not to quit. We have been assured of the victory. If you go to the end of the Bible, there's victory at the end. So hold on, my people. Hold on. Victory, folks, we gonna make it. There are decisions that we all need to make as we look ahead. But I want you to take it one day at a time, one step at a time. And don't worry. If you know that God is with you, you cannot fail. I won't fail. There may be days when no one is around to cheer you on. Actually, you may feel like everyone is against you. But you encourage yourself by whatever means you can. God's word, songs of praise and worship, prayer, so real with God about what's in your heart. The courage to take that next step will come just as surely as you are listening to me right now. And I'm truly talking to myself as I'm talking to you, because lately it seems like the fear of the unknown is threatening to take me down. But I have to do exactly what I'm telling you. There is no time for us to be afraid or doubt. I am trusting with the assurance that the God who knows the beginning from the end is guiding me all the way. And that's what I want to leave you with. Let me tell you another life lesson. And that's why I know this particular topic is definitely going to help somebody, because it helped me. It's helping me to keep going in the face of all the sadness. And sometimes that sadness can overwhelm you. And I want to encourage you, if you are sad and can't get past that sadness, please reach out to somebody. There is no shame in therapy. I've been there myself. And if I feel like I need it, I'm going to do it. But I was getting ready for tonight. And one more way God talks to me is he shows me things. And I'm telling you, this is it. When I show you, you'll know what I mean. This is a little card. It's called affirmation cards. And my youngest and I, every morning, it says each card has a positive, inspiring message to start your day. And it's a whole lot of cards, and she'll come in a shuffle of cards and say, okay, mommy, pick one. And I picked this one out, and it's been several days ago, but I stuck it in my mirror because I like what it says. It says, today I am brave. Today I will step up to every challenge with courage. Today I am brave. Yeah, I can't make this up, right? Today I will step up to every challenge with courage. It was stuck in the mirror, and as I was doing my makeup and my hair, I looked up and I saw the card, and I knew once again that this message of courage was not only to help me, but to help somebody out there. You stay encouraged. Have courage not to quit. Don't give up. Don't give up. Do not give up. I'm going to keep saying it. Courage, encourage yourself any way you can. Know you are not alone. Know that God is with you. God loves you. And so do I. I'm telling you, it's just amazing. God's mercy. Yes, Serena, God's mercy. So I'm going to leave you guys with that tonight. Have courage not to quit. You are so very loved. You are important. I want to share also that, my book, I'm going to say it every week. My book is available at Amazon.com. When I need a word, God speaks. The book and the accompanying journal. The book was from the best of my blogs. And you can find the blogs at Still Waters on WordPress.com. It is there if you want more content. And again, feel free to email me, livinglifevictoriously1@gmail.com. I love you too. I love you, Nakayeta. I love you, Gillian. I do. I love you guys so much. And I thank you once again for being part of my journey. Hey, Paula, how are you this evening? For being part of my journey. And again, like I said, living life victoriously is not just about my way. I am enjoying the feedback I'm getting from my Facebook friends. And if you want to send me an email, livinglifevictoriously@gmail.com. Oh, it's amazing. I want to know what your thoughts are. Tell me how you felt about this broadcast, and come on back. I will be here the second and fourth Mondays of each month. The replay again is going to be on Saturdays at 6, right here on ALH Broadcasting, an affiliate of Streaming Inspiration and Broadcasting Network. I'm telling you, have courage not to quit. Thank you, guys. Oh, hi, Desi. How are you tonight? Thank you for sharing. My childhood friends are on. Oh, my gosh. You guys made me feel wonderful. Thank you, Valerie. She said, awesome message. Hey, I'm going to give you what God gives me, and we're going to do this thing together. Remember to live life victoriously. Trust God. Have courage not to quit. I'll see you the second Monday in September. Until then, I'm your host, Victoria E. Henderson. Remember, live life victoriously. Good night.
I pray something you heard on today's show has helped you and has given you the encouragement to keep on pressing. Let me know your thoughts. You can send me an email at livinglifevictoriously1@gmail.com. Also, for more inspirational content, you can check out my blog called Still Waters over at WordPress.com. Walk in victory daily and join me the second and fourth Mondays of each month. Remember, live life victoriously.